Hi guys, it's Molly. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am 23 years old, originally from Texas, but I live in New York now. I've lived here for the past 5 years while I got my degree in marketing, and I just graduated with the class of 2020, and yeah, I'm starting my post-grad life here in New York, and I love it. Don't mind my bare walls. I just moved into a new apartment this week, and I'm gonna have a full video all about the transformation that we're doing on this apartment because it's really awesome. I'm so excited about all the work that we've been doing on this place, and I can't wait to show you guys the before and after and all that good stuff. So stick around for that, subscribe. I post every Monday, lifestyle, thrifting, interior design kind of content. That's my favorite stuff in the world, and I love sharing it with others, so I like to do it like this, I guess. Today's video is something I've been really excited to do, and that's a tattoo tour video. I have quite a few tattoos. I honestly don't know the number off the top of my head, but I started getting into tattoos a few years ago, and I love tattoos. I love having a piece of art on your body. One thing I do want to touch on is I've chosen for my personal tattoos to have really deep meanings for me, just because that's what I personally wanted to go with. But I don't think that your tattoos have to have some deep spiritual meaning. If you like it enough to get it tattooed on your body, that's meaning enough in my eyes. But I just wanted to give that little disclaimer that I don't think that everybody needs to have some deep, intricate story. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So my first tattoos ever were these two tattoos right here on my wrist. This little sun and this little moon. And they have a really awesome story behind them. So I'm going to be sharing the story behind each of my tattoos. So the sun and the moon are for my great aunt Mollie. You'll notice a theme that a couple of my tattoos are for her. She was someone that was really special in my life. Obviously, I was named after her, my great aunt Mollie. I'm Mollie Mae. And she was just my best friend my whole life. And unfortunately, she passed away from pancreatic cancer. And she just shaped so much of who I am as a person, and so much of what I love in this world is because she taught me how to love it. From my love of plants to my love of cooking, my love of entertaining others, my love of helping others, my love of community. So much of that was from her. And I just love being able to commemorate her in some way on my body. I feel like she's always with me. So the moon is because when I was 10 years old, my GAM actually got me a necklace. I'm sorry I'm getting a little choked up, but I miss her a little bit or a lot of it. When I was 10 years old, she got me a necklace when she went on a cruise, and the necklace was of the moon the night I was born, and it was a waxing crescent moon, and I never took it off for the whole time I had it. And unfortunately, it fell off in my high school hallway my senior year, and I lost it then. But for the time I had it, I never took it off. And the night she passed away, I looked up at the moon and I looked down at my necklace, and it was the exact same moon. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's GAM up there. That's GAM telling me hey girl, I'm up here. Don't worry about me, I'm all good. So I got that moon tattooed on me. And then for the sun, growing up, she actually had cancer twice. So she had breast cancer and then pancreatic cancer. And during her time having breast cancer, I was really, really little, and I got her a Build-A-Bear, and I did one of those voice recordings of me singing "You Are My Sunshine," because that was always our song growing up. And she always told me that like the first time she had cancer, she would play that bear every day and like hear my voice, and it was just so special for her. So I got the sun and the moon on my wrist because I like to say that for those two reasons, my GAM gave me the sun and the moon. My next tattoo is actually on my foot slash ankle area. I'll put in some B-roll of that because I'm not gonna like lift my leg up and show you, but it's of a little choo-choo train, the little outline of a choo-choo train. And this was actually for my granddad. My granddad actually passed away from cancer as well. And he was always such a light in my life. He was so quirky and silly and funny. And he had this way about him of giving you his wisdom in like the funniest, quirkiest, silliest way he could possibly give it to you. And somehow it still resonated so deeply with you. And I just loved that so much about him, and I still love that to this day. And so I got a little choo-choo train tattooed on my foot for him. And it is because growing up, he always sang this song, "You can't get far without the railroad. You can't get far without the railroad." I just, like, it just brings me joy to, like, even hear that song. But, just like a silly little song he used to sing. He had the wackiest, silliest humor, and I loved every second of that. So I wanted to get something that commemorated that. So I got this little tattoo. But the next tattoo I got is this one on the back of my arm. It is a tattoo of an orchid and a lily of the valley looped together. And the reason I got that tattoo is because, if you don't know, I do theater. I originally moved to New York to be a theater major, go to college for theater, and I've done theater my whole life. And when I did my first musical when I was 8 years old, my mom brought me a blue orchid as my first like flowers for a show that I was ever in, Fiddler on the Roof. If you know, you know. And my mom got me a blue orchid. And from that moment on, I just always treasured orchids and blue orchids because they remind me so much of my mom. And just that special bond that she and I have together in the arts, in our friendship as mother and daughter, our relationship as mother and daughter means so much to me. And I wanted to get something, to, just constantly have her with me. It means a lot because my mom is all the way down in Texas. I live up here in New York, so it's nice to feel like she's always with me. And then the lily of the valley is for my brother and my dad. So I love my brother and my dad so much. They are my number one, my family is my number one people in my life. So I'm just so thankful to have them with me. And them being so far away in Texas, I just wanted something to feel like closer to them, like they're always with me. And now I literally have them, like they have my back all the time. I got a lily of the valley for them because they were both born in the month of May. My dad is May 1st and my brother's May 8th. So, which is a crazy week for us in our house. But a lily of the valley is the birth flower of the month of May. So that's the story behind that one. And I just think like they look so beautiful together. The orchid and the lily of the valley, they complement each other. And I love that I just get to have like my family with me right there. They have my back. The next tattoo that I have is this one right here. It says Bloom in this little like typewriter font. And the reason I got this tattoo, this is like my one tattoo that's for me, like just me, and about just like something I feel in my heart. So if you know me, You know, I'm a big plant gal. I love plants. I kind of have an addiction to them. My friends all say I have a jungle in my apartment. I agree. My connection to plants comes from the fact that they start out as, you know, just a small seed, and they can blossom and bloom into something so magnificent. Literally, a seed becomes an 100-year-old oak tree. And I just think that that is so incredible, and I can't even wrap my head around how it all happens. I mean, I know there's science and I know there's photosynthesis and blah blah blah, but I mean, really think about it. Like, it's crazy that a seed becomes a tree. And to bloom means to come into full beauty and flourish. And that's just something that I want a constant reminder of, is that I'm flourishing, I'm blooming right here in this moment. I'm growing, I'm changing, I'm becoming, I'm blooming into what I'm actually supposed to be. And I just love having this reminder. It's my favorite word. It's just something that I always want to keep in mind, is that in every single moment of life, miracles can happen. Me, a little seed, can become an oak tree. Who knows? And yeah, I'm blooming, I'm growing. My next tattoo is another piece in honor of my GAM. I told you all about her, so I don't need to go into it further, but I know I mentioned that my love of plants comes from her, and one lovely memory I have from her house is she had a rosemary bush in her front yard, and we would always go and rub our hands on it and like smell our hands so that we could have the smell of rosemary on our hands, and we just loved it. We would cut sprigs of rosemary and like place it around her house so it smelled nice. Like, rosemary smells amazing. And so much of my love of plants comes from her and gardening and my green thumb. So I wanted to get a piece of rosemary tattooed on me for her. And just a couple years ago, this story gets me. I was home in Texas on, it was either Christmas vacation or Thanksgiving vacation, but I remembered that my GAM had given me this book called The Daring Book for Girls. A lot of people probably had it. If you're a Girl Scout, you definitely had it. It's like full of 100 things that a girl should know how to do no matter what. And it's like, learn how to tie sailor's knots, and like learn how to play jacks, and learn how to do a cartwheel, like learn how to use a Swiss Army knife. Like, my GAM was all about me knowing how to do all kinds of handy things. And you know, she was never scared to, like, you know, do something that might be considered masculine, like knowing how to use a Swiss Army knife or whatever. And I love that she instilled that in me, that, like, you know, a girl can do anything and you're not limited. And one of the first ways that she ever did that for me was by introducing me to that book. And when I found the book in her home, I was standing in the kitchen with my great uncle Bill, who I'll get into a little later, but I was standing in the kitchen with my great uncle Bill, and he was like, Molly, like, I don't know where this book is. Like, I don't know if when she passed away, we might have gotten rid of it. Like, I don't remember seeing it. And I turned around and I looked, and I was just looking around, and right there in her kitchen, she had two little side tables with some books stacked under them. And right there was the book. And I opened it up, and the inside cover said, "To Molly, you captured my heart at first sight. Love, GAM, your safe place." Oh, your safe place. So I got your safe place tattooed on me in her handwriting with a sprig of rosemary. And this is the tattoo. This is probably my favorite tattoo that I have. It means so much to me. And the artist that did it is absolutely incredible. His name is Gavin at Tattoo Maven here in New York. If you ever have a chance to go, tell him Molly sent you. but he's really amazing, and this piece means so much to me. My last tattoo is this one, and this one is my most recent. It is a Forsythia branch with 2 butterflies dancing around it. So this one is in honor of my great uncle Bill, my Gam's husband. He unfortunately passed away during this quarantine period. I call him my Gubba, but my great uncle Bill, my Gubba, grew up here in New York, and he grew up in Brooklyn. He is the person in my family that taught me about New York and instilled this love for New York in me and encouraged me to want to move here so much. And so much of what I love about New York and have learned about New York and in my life was from him. And when he passed away, it was really hard on me because it felt like my last remaining connection to my Gam outside of her son Matthew, who is my godfather. But I wanted to get something special that commemorated both my Gubba and the love of New York that he instilled in me. And so I started doing some research, and I found out that the Forsythia tree is the official flower of the city of Brooklyn. And I was like, bada bing, bada boom, like that is it. I know Gubba would love that. And so I decided on the Forsythia branch. But then I was like, okay, well, I want like a little something more to it. I don't want to just have like the branch. And I started thinking about like my life growing up, being at my Gam's house and my Gam and Gubba's house and playing in their garden with them and all of this. And I remembered this butterfly garden I had in their backyard, and us 3 would hang out and we would eat spoonfuls of peanut butter and tend to the butterfly garden. And that was just something that I just remember so fondly in my childhood. And so I got 2 little butterflies dancing around the Forsythia branch in honor of my Gam and Gubba, just to add a little more to this super special tattoo. And again, it's just nice to know that like those that have passed are always with you, and like knowing that my granddad and my Gam and my Gubba are with me in the form of tattoos as art, beautiful art on my body, means so much to me. And knowing that my family, my mom, my dad, my brother are always with me means so much to me. And knowing that I always have a reminder that I'm growing in this moment and I'm blooming in this moment means so much to me. So that is my tattoo tour. I hope that you guys liked it. I literally love doing this video. Honestly, it was kind of like therapeutic. I kind of wanted to cry multiple times during this video, but I didn't. I held it back so to not make things awkward. I just think it was like so fun to like tell the story of each tattoo and like share it. So if you have any like cool tattoos you want to share, it doesn't have to have a big deep drawn out meaning or story, or if it does, you're more than welcome to share that as well. I love to hear the stories. I also love to just hear that you thought something was cool so you wanted to get it tattooed on you, because that's what matters, as long as you love it. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.